Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some pretty crazy stuff to go and talk about over here when it comes to the PlayStation 5 Pro. Now, as you guys do or do not know, we've been kind of slowly watching more and more leaks coming out when it comes to consoles, when it comes to the PlayStation 5 Pro. And well, right now, there's a lot of big good rumored stuff that's now being leaked. And as of right this second, there does seem like there is even more leaks coming out as of right now, changing up the internals of the console itself. So I'm going to go talk about, well, some of these kind of really big details overall, because I do think this console is looking and feeling pretty good. So let's go talk about it as well. We also have a pretty cool sponsorship and brand new thing going on right now, once again, with Samsung. So really quick on this one, but as you guys are subscribing or liking or whatever, or leaving your comments down below, we actually have a few kind of cool brand new links over here for the HOW links for Samsung for the brand new Galaxy Watch, the tablets, and of course the phones all floating around. So if you guys want to go and check those on out, those are linked down below. Thank you very much, Samsung, for partnering with us. We'll probably mention them on the channel throughout the next few days, so be on the lookout for that. So first and foremost, guys, we have a brand new now announcement for the PlayStation 5 Pro. Now, as we've mentioned before, these past few weeks, we're seeing now rumored release dates for next year, possibly around the holiday season. We're hearing a lot of numbers for November-ish of 2024. Now, once again, both the PlayStation 5 Slim, or next iteration of console, is still not been fully confirmed when it comes to, well, everything. But as of right this second, we keep on expecting that come closer and closer and closer. Like, kind of like the time is running down, and the usual prior years are kind of syncing up as well. But now we're getting even more information about the internals of the console. Now, once again, always take everything with a grain of salt, but this grain of salt has been pouring and pouring and pouring for quite some time. And I think a lot of folks are happy with it, because the more salt, the more salty. I don't really know. I mean, I could have maybe worked in like salty Xbox folks, but I try to avoid the concert fights of the channel. But right now we're seeing more leaks. Now, the Sony PlayStation 5 Pro SOC is now actually reportedly being upgraded over here to use the N4P, a 4 nanometer processor node. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys when it comes to internals. I'm not usually the smartest when it comes to the whole like differentials between the nanometers. Typically, though, like the smaller the nanometer, the better. So basically, like a 7 is better than a 9, a 5 is better than a 7, a 4 is better than a 5. And we've also been seeing, and even made a video on this as of, I think, 2 days ago, where the PlayStation 5 Slim, or next iteration, is moving down from a 7 nanometer kind of basically processor / internals to now down to a 5 nanometer to essentially just go and streamline the process, make the heating a little bit more efficient, make the overall motherboard, etc., a little bit more efficient too as well, and at the good time, it's just basically a better internal. Like now, if we have the PlayStation 5 Pro, we're still gonna be expecting like a better GPU, CPU, probably better storage, and as well better motherboard, heating, etc., in efficiency, because it does want to go run for 8K, which I'll give you guys a heat rehash on that in a second. But as of right now, there is a brand new AMD tipster, Kepler, has now been claimed as the yet announced Sony PlayStation 5 Pro SoC will likely utilize the NP4 process node. Now, once again, I'd be kind of lying if I didn't really fully know what this meant. I have a rough idea on this, obviously, but I'm not 100% convinced on like what it really means. I just know it's like a little bit more brand new technology. It costs slightly more to go and basically process and make, but it's way more efficient, usually better for connections in terms of processing power, and as well kind of lowers too as well for heating and etc., etc. So basically, the leaker wrote on Twitter that the PS5 Pro's chips won't be built on a 3 nanometer processor node, and that there's not much difference with the N3E 3 nanometer process in regards to power and performance. As such, the decision to use a 4 nanometer process node won't likely impact the power of Sony's mid-cycle refresh system. So either way, like if you just want to go look by really basic numbers, the rumored PlayStation 5 Slim, next variation will be at a 5, this one will be at a 4, but just based on the overall knowledge that it's still basically, number one, able to be efficient and still have better internal systems, such as powering the GPU, CPU, motherboard, etc. And as well, it's probably going to be slightly cheaper if it's not in the most recent 3 nanometer node. Now, there might be someone who's a bit smarter than me in the comment section, so you guys are totally cool to like just explain more if you guys are more familiar with this or want to highlight a little bit better. Would love to go through those and stuff. So if you guys want to, you guys totally can. If I'm like wrong or explaining poorly, go for it. But either way, the good example is that we're now seeing even more internal specs being leaked when it comes to PlayStation 5 Pro. So as they go and say, the NP4 most likely is what they're expecting for this nanometer they'll be using for the console. There isn't much difference in power and preference anyway. N3E is mostly more about the logic density, which is offset by the increased wafer cost. So Once again, if you ever want to have these consoles, you want to make sure the price points are usually cheap enough where you don't have to go be spending a lot of money, because you don't want to have $1,000 console. If you could somehow save an extra, let's say $10, $15, $50, I'm not really sure the internal price points of like these types of processing units, then guess what? If you're going to be making millions upon millions of these consoles, you want to save money anywhere you can. You don't want to spend as much money. You don't want to be on top of that. Like, it's just more, you want to be careful on all of that. And while at the same time, if they can get the same efficiency with maybe just slightly less efficiency / maybe slightly more power usage, it's okay, because it's still, don't forget, going to be a PlayStation 5 Pro, which is not going to be in the same par of like probably the like NVIDIA 6000 series. I'd almost be kind of curious to see if it even matches the 4000 current line Series 2 as well, because don't forget, they don't really want to be selling a $1,500, $2,000 console or mini PC. They want to just make something that people can afford if they want to pay a little extra money for the actual optimization side. So as of right now, Sony has not fully mentioned the PS5 Pro, but there's a lot of rumors stretching back that it will be coming for a while. But as well, there's also been even more big news too when it comes to GTA 6, rumored to be actually released now on the PS5 Pro. While this is going to be a little bit more of an unfounded rumor, but it also does make sense, mainly because we keep on hearing these rumors and like these big press releases and stock releases for GTA 6, and also a lot of other remasters too as well, and remakes. So they want to maybe try to go and either remake Red Dead Redemption 1, and we've also been hearing some rumors both on Max Payne and as well as Bully. We've been seeing a little bit of rumors on that. And of course, obviously the GTA 6 has been one of the most anticipated games in quite some time. So this is going to be a big thing because the lineup also would make sense. If you want to release a PlayStation 5 Pro, which is still currently the big console on the market, and as well, Grand Theft Auto 5 is one of the biggest games of all time, it would actually make a lot of sense for them to do a dual marketing proposal and have things such as the GTA 6 go and correspond their launch with the GTA 5 or PlayStation 5 Pro. Sorry, I almost said GTA 5. All the 5s and 6s over here for me. Which makes a lot of sense because, number one, the game's graphics are probably going to be pushing to the edge. If you guys even just played Red Dead 2, that game was phenomenal in terms of graphics. Same even with GTA 5 when it first came out. So imagine you can go and somehow have that day one launch on a PlayStation 5 Pro. This would be absolutely phenomenal. So this is kind of basically what a lot of leaks are coming into too as well, where the time makes sense. So a lot of the GTA 6 might finally release as of the end of 2024. And once again, the rumored release date for the PlayStation 5 Pro is November 2024. And that is one of the biggest things out there because, like I said, we're having all these different things such as the code name Trinity, and we're seeing even things like GTA leaks now. It could just be like, it's kind of just putting 2 and 2 together, but we're seeing stuff like GTA 6 and PS5 Pro will reportedly launch next year, adding the 4K 60 FPS option with improved stability and also 8K support. So once again, Rockstar probably has had these connections with these big companies. Has probably had these connections too with things like PlayStation. And obviously, if we're hearing all these rumors that Xbox will not be doing a mid-console generation refresh, which has not been confirmed, that's just the current rumor, then it makes a lot of sense they'd want to release their big game on maybe a dual big hype announcement, releasing it on the PlayStation 5 Pro, or aka codename Trinity. But once again, it makes sense because all these shareholders on both sides are discussing this, and they're talking about this, and they want to go and get as many sales. And GTA is one of the most played games on PlayStation, and the market is big enough that it makes a lot of sense. And obviously, we sell PC that's still helping out Windows, put on the Windows Store, or whatever it might go and be. But once again, this has not been confirmed. Like, the Project Trinity leaks have been kind of floating around for quite some time. Like, we've been seeing this a lot, but the GTA thing's a little bit more of a stretch that would probably just make sense on the lineup. But at the same time, too, guys, don't forget that we are still expecting at least some notable upgrades when it comes to PlayStation 5 Pro. Seeing these better internal nano nodes are very nice because, well, it makes the console more efficient and as well can basically go and sync all things together to go make sure, like, the GPU and CPU are all working. But one of the bigger issues, though, is that we just don't know the price point because we're kind of maybe potentially seeing a price drop as we've been seeing all the PlayStation normal consoles dropping down. That's a good thing. Like, we like seeing this price. But the part two is, don't forget, well, we still have to go make sure it's not going to be like a $900 console, because, I mean, I'd probably play in a little extra premium. Like, you give me maybe a $650, $750 range or so. I'd probably be okay buying a PS5 Pro. You let me go to 8K. I can maybe upgrade my TV to 8K, or as well kind of stick with the 4K 60 FPS standardization, which I think is 4K standard enough. Would make a lot of sense. But at least we do have more leaks on it. I want to see your thoughts and comments. Do you guys think you guys are going to pick up a console? And of course, seeing brand new specs, always nice to see. Make sure you guys guys are, subscribe and check out all of our brand new HOW links down below in the comment section and description. Thank you so much, Samsung, for letting us work with you and sponsor us and all this ads, etc., too as well. So definitely go check those out. I'll link down below. Give me your thoughts and comments too, and I'll see you guys up later on tonight for another video.